Hey, everybody. I know we're a little bit late, but we have got a lot going on. Seriously, a lot, which we will tell you about. LJ Ruiz is here with me. How are you? It is Sunday. It's 1:20 where you are on
I
the East
think it's
Coast,
1:20, if I can see my phone correctly.
if you can see your phone correctly. And we're all here. We're here to talk about Elimination Chamber, which was quite an ordeal for me to see. I love the fact that us WWE fans are so devoted that we'll watch it at 2 a.m. in the Pacific, 5 where you were. I
Yeah.
was watching all the different time zone listings and I was like, this is insane. So tell me what happened with you. Were you able to, did you stay up or did you get up to watch it? And then how
So
did you watch it?
so I ended up so I was with my friend. We were out the night before at a bar, like hanging out. But I didn't drink too much. So it was I wasn't that, but I got home late. So I got home around like 2:30 a.m. So at that point I was like, all right, I might as well just stay up and watch it at the 5. And then like the hours were just going by so slow, like the hours between 2 to 5. So I was like, I'm gonna fall asleep. So I ended up falling asleep from like 3:45 to like I woke up like at 4:59. I set an alarm. And then I watched it like in bed, like on the TV. So I woke up right away. I watched the whole first chamber match, and then I fell asleep completely. I watched the whole thing. I loved it. And then I fell asleep completely. Missed the whole Judgment Day match that I had to re go back and watch. I watched the whole thing after. And I ended up watching the whole Elimination Chamber in its entirety, like again, because I just wanted to watch the whole show. But that night, I missed that whole match. I woke up for like the second half of the Seth Rollins Cody Rhodes promo. I missed the whole beginning, and then and then I watched the whole men's chamber match, and then I went back and watched the other stuff that I didn't watch, and then Rhea, sadly, I fell asleep. I missed Rhea, and then I watched that again.
Okay, so let me kind of just take you through what happened. So I have to go back to Friday to explain this to you. So I'm scheduled for surgery Friday morning at 6 a.m. Friday.
Yeah,
I am worried that I will not get to my surgery, so I set my phone. So mind you, I didn't get hardly any sleep the night before.
yeah.
So, and you can't eat or drink 9 hours before your surgery, right? So I'm like kind of really exhausted. And then the surgery ends up getting canceled. So I go there, there's a problem, and it ends up getting canceled. So now it's Wednesday and I've got a lot of work to do. And now I'm realizing, oh crap, oh, I have to be at the SAG Award rehearsal Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, Elimination Chambers at 2. I didn't sleep the night before. What am I gonna do? And it was really tough. But I thought, well, so from like 10:30 Friday night to like 2, I went to sleep, set the alarm on my phone, but of course didn't get up right away. So ran to the computer and ran to the phone. I was trying to get Netflix on everything because I didn't know where I was going to watch it from. So long story short, I get back into bed and I'm watching it, but in my bedroom, I don't have a way to put it on my TV.
Oh, you don't? Yeah,
No. So I had to watch it on my phone. So I watched the women's elimination chamber on my big computer. Then I went into bed, took this with me, and I did not see the first half of the Cody Rhodes thing. I did not see Rhea. I did not see Judgment Day,
yeah,
but I did see Elimination Chamber for the men and the women,
yeah,
um, which were the main,
yeah.
which were the main things. So it was really hard. I mean, it is tricky, and I didn't know when the replay was, and then I had to leave because I was, I had produced a Barbra Streisand tribute with the special packages team at the SAG Awards. They were airing at 5,
Mhm.
and they invited us down to the rehearsal. So I'm like, okay. So I drive to the rehearsal, which is downtown in the Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles, go down there, meet up with the team, and they're doing walkthroughs, like, but none of the talent is there. So it's like the fill-ins running the lines and everything. And it was great to see everybody from the team, but then I had to leave. And then I had to watch it at night. And so it's just been this constant thing. So I didn't go to a party, but I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah. It was definitely I do think this shows how much how big wrestling is right now because we were all. I'm sure everybody was doing something like that, like where it was like, should I stay up? Everyone wanted to stay up. They wanted to watch it live. Because at the end of the day, yeah, like I'm sure I would have if I would just woke up at like 10 a.m. and watched it. I probably could have avoided any spoilers because like I don't have like alerts. I have like all my alerts off on my phone because I just hate alerts on my phone. And but like I just wanted to watch it, live and like be like watch it and be on Twitter and everybody. It was just like I felt so that feeling of like being so tired and not getting sleep and like especially like drinking the night before. I was like, I need to go to sleep. So I literally like knocked out. I tried. Like I was during after the first match, I was like, all right, I'm good here. Like I watched the whole thing. I was sitting up in bed, like I watched the whole first match. And then and then they had like two commercials, and I was like, all right, I could just turn over for like 5 minutes. And then I woke up. I woke up and Seth Rollins was giving Theory a curb stomp. And I was like, all right, I don't know. I was like, at this point, I'm just gonna go to sleep until the men's chamber match because I had a feeling it was like after the match that was in between or whatever it was. So then I woke up for that one, and then for Rhea, once the men's chamber ended, I went to sleep. I was like, I'm going to sleep. And then I was like, I'll watch Rhea when I wake up in the morning. And I ended up watching it fully, like from the beginning.
I was
But
gonna
it was,
say I got a text message. So my friend that I went to, remember when we all went to our WWE Christmas shows, the tour, holiday
yeah,
tour?
yeah,
So he goes, knocked out earlier, probably will be awake for it now at 2 a.m. Haha. That's to your point. I
yeah.
think wrestling's so big right now that we're all like, we don't want to miss it.
See, if it was 2 a.m., I would have been great. But 5 a.m. is the worst because it's like right in the middle of like, wow, if I should just stay up and watch it anyway, or like I'm just going to sleep. Like 12, if it was at like 11 p.m. or like 12 a.m., then it's fine. Most I'm up that time anyway. But like 5 is when it's like if you're trying to stay up, that's when you start getting like that sick feeling of staying up all night. And it's like, all right, if I don't go home, and I also had to come home for the concert that I had today. Well, last
Which,
night.
wait, and when you say home, you mean New Jersey?
Yeah, to Jersey.
You're in Brooklyn.
Well, Brooklyn, yeah, but
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
live like literally like 30 minutes away from Brooklyn, so in Jersey, on the other side. So I knew that I had to drive in the morning. So I was like, all right, if I don't sleep now, I'm literally gonna be miserable driving home. So I was like, I have to just get this over with. I'll watch it later. I ended up watching it. So it was
I was just like you. I was thinking, oh, this is great. It's at 2 a.m.
yeah.
But I hadn't slept the night before
Yeah,
because
you started that a
I
while
was I
before
was
that.
like I couldn't stay up till 2. So I had to find this window. It was just really tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was kind of like a lot going on also in the news this week, but I think we should start with Elimination Chamber. Right off the bat, they did the women's Elimination Chamber. And I do agree. I think it was the best one of the
Yeah, it
night.
was match of the night, easily.
And I think the girls, the women, have these amazing spots in their matches. You would never see this, LJ, years ago. You would see Sable and panties match, bra and panties matches. Like you wouldn't. I can't believe how far this has come.
Mhm.
Um, I was most impressed by Tiffany Stratton.
She was
I
awesome.
was like, this is insane. So we had Lynch, Naomi, Stratton, Morgan, Rodriguez, and Belair. What did you think?
I mean, first of all, it was absolutely stacked. Um, I really didn't mind anybody who won that match. Truthfully, I did not care. And there's always one that you don't want to win. But I was rooting for Liv. I really wanted Liv to win. Like I genuinely thought she had a shot because I knew that they were pushing Becky. Like they're pushing Becky Rhea so much that I was like, all right, maybe it's so obvious that they're not gonna do it. So then I was like, whatever. But whatever. They ended up winning. But I truthfully thought that the match flew like it started and it just like it was like nonstop until it ended. It was awesome. Like it was really the spots were great. Stratton's throwing herself. She took all the bumps basically. She's the youngest one in the match. I know she didn't win, but she's gonna be phenomenal. She's gonna be I want her to be a champion before the year's
And
over.
am I correct? Is she a former U.S. gymnast on a?
Yeah, gymnast. Yeah,
Was she on the USA team or
I
something?
don't know, but I know she was in
It
college.
was
She was.
clear she's a gymnastic. It's clear.
She's such a natural, and like I remember she's the one that they were doing this whole. I don't remember the exact like time frame, but they doing this whole thing where she like had no training and then it ended up being like phenomenal like right away. Like she just had a natural like gift for it. I mean, she just throws her body around. She's they gave. I really enjoyed that. even though we knew she wasn't gonna win, she did all the spots, and it took like 4 finishers to beat her. Like they did like all her finishers in a row, and then
And
pinned
the
her.
crowd was so
They
behind her.
booed Liv. They
They
booed Liv.
booed Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
And the thing also, I have to give it to my girl. Bianca was amazing. Come
Oh,
on.
great. Yeah, she
Come
was
on.
great.
She lifted everybody. Her moves were great. She sold the moves. I think she's so incredible in the ring. I mean, you can say what you want, but
No,
that
I think she's great. I told you I think she's great. She's nothing inside the ring. Whenever she wrestles, I forget everything about it. I just think she's a little rough on the mic,
yeah.
and I would like to see her turn heel. It's the same thing as Cena. We compare her to Cena all the time about like how she used to win a lot, and she's another one that I think, and I'm saying this I'm gonna sound like I should be telling myself this, but she's another one that she's gonna like be done whenever she's done, and people are gonna realize like, oh wow, she was really good. Like she's gonna be one of the best ever. She's probably gonna be top 5 female wrestlers. So I mean, I just think this match proves. I mean, like this, it's the women's roster is just like
And I
stacked.
was with you. I want to just talk about Becky. I really was hoping because they've been pushing Becky so hard. I was hoping it was going to be a swerve and not be Becky.
Yeah,
No disrespect to Becky. I'm just saying before everybody goes,
yeah, I definitely understand that it's the money match. They have never fought each other, which is crazy. I can't even believe that they've never had a singles match ever. So I get it, and I mean it's WrestleMania, and at the end of the day, you want your like I know Liv Morgan is a big name, but like when you're like advertising to a casual fan and it's Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch, they're more
Becky.
mainstream. So it's I get it, and it's gonna be a great match. I would really, as a fan, I guess I'm really hoping maybe Liv can find herself into that match as a triple threat because that's some things people were talking about. Because I really don't know what like a girl like Liv who just came back and she's really popular and they had her finish second in the Elimination Chamber. Like she's not gonna have a match at Mania. You know what I mean? Because there's no path for her. So I don't really know. And they don't really do women's matches like other than the championship matches. So I mean, I would maybe like a Liv and a Raquel match because they've been. I think Liv's gonna turn heel, which is what I was trying to say. I think she's gonna turn heel. She's kind of teasing it.
Do you think Liv is?
Yeah,
I just want to know what about the EST? Does she not have a match at WrestleMania? What do you do with her?
I heard. I mean, which would be absolutely amazing. I mean,
Will they bring her in with?
we really want Jade Cargill to have a match. I don't think she's gonna have a match. I just think it's too late. I think they want to wait and not have her lose yet because she was supposed to be in the chamber. Supposedly they didn't want her to lose because she's really popular. I think she's gonna be like I think she's gonna be like a Raw after Mania debut. I think she'll fight. I think she'll have a first match the night after Mania, like at the Raw. Um, I've been reading a lot that they're setting up Stratton and Belair to have a singles match at Mania, which would be absolutely
That
amazing.
would be
Yeah,
amazing. I mean,
that's
from
what
a
they've been saying on Twitter that they've been because they've been
now,
like
now you know what? That now thinking about it,
yeah
it's got to be
yeah. I think
because
that's what they're setting up a singles match between them two
that
because Stratton
literally,
and her have been kind of beefing a little bit on SmackDown. So I like it. I think that'd be great.
and then just hold on to Cargill. You're
Yeah, I
saying
think they're gonna save Cargill till like the day after Mania and just have her first real match. She just was never gonna win the chamber, and I don't think they wanted that to be like her first loss. I think they wanted to win her first match.
so. If you take in Lynch and Rhea in WrestleMania, I would think Rhea comes out the winner. They're going to give it to Becky. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
Becky hasn't held a title in 2 years.
Now
Um, I know that Rhea's held it for a while. I just don't think Rhea needs the title. She's so popular, she doesn't really need it, but she's great. So I mean,
I know.
that's one of those matches where I truthfully don't mind who wins. Like I really don't. I just think that the two women's matches we're getting at Mania are amazing. I really think like it's crazy how many women are gonna be in that aren't gonna fight at Mania that probably deserve to be. Like look at that chamber. And the one thing I'll say about the chamber is that I was very shocked that Naomi was the first one to get pinned. I feel like she's not. I don't know. Like she's. I was excited for her to be back. I love her. She's great in the ring, but it kind of sucks. I feel like there's nothing for her right now. There's just so many other girls.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
that's the problem. You kind of saw how they threw her out first, and the order. It made it feel like this is the real pecking order backstage,
Yeah,
right?
I agree. Yeah,
That's
easily.
it for sure. If it's bum, it was her, Rodriguez, Stratton, where
Yeah,
the three, went that way,
yeah.
and then Bianca.
And I loved that they gave Stratton the first pin. They let her pin Naomi, which was great.
Yeah,
They're really like pushing her like early. Like I and I we
She's so
never I don't
ready.
when she came out on SmackDown and signed, I never thought I didn't think they were gonna push her this quickly, and they are, and it's working. So I mean, she definitely proved herself.
Probably one of the best I've ever seen.
Miss Money in the Bank, she'll be great Money in the Bank
Money in
winner.
the Bank.
She'll be great.
Speaking of Money in the Bank,
Speaking of Senor Money in the
wait,
Bank,
before we hold on, I don't want to, I digress. So, did you happen to see the exclusive after Rhea had won over Nia? There was an exclusive backstage with her family.
hmm
And there was a moment where Rhea was emotional and broke character a bit. And she said, I don't really love crying, because it's not,
yeah,
I don't like showing that side. This truly was emotional for her. I do believe that being in Australia with her whole family there.
yeah,
What did you think about that? And then didn't she have that moment at the end of the match as
yeah.
well?
I definitely. I mean, I can't even imagine like wrestling for me as like as for us as fans like. I would love to be a wrestler. You know what I mean? That'd be awesome. Like in my eyes, like that's like the best job in the world. Like I would love to stand in front of that many people. Like it's awesome. Like imagine that's the one thing. Like talking about Rhea, like that's the one thing I don't think people understand. Like that are like for example, like my friends, like they know what wrestling is and like they watched it when they were young, but then they stopped watching it because whatever. And I never stopped watching it. And part of it is because like I don't think people that don't watch realize like how unique the atmosphere of a wrestling of WWE like wrestling in general is because it's really crazy because it's like you have movies that people watch but there's no like live audience and it's not the same, you're just rehearsing over and over again, and then you have like live shows that it's just a show, but then you mix those together and you make it sports and you're entertaining the crowd. So imagine that times 10 when you're performing in front of your own country. So I definitely get like how you know emotional it gets for her, especially probably never thinking she'd be there.
And
And then,
yeah, I was just gonna also say to you, when we interviewed her at WrestleMania last year, I was so impressed. Like
yeah,
she was not like a
no,
snooty thing. She was
it was
herself.
awesome. She
She
was
didn't
so
play
cool.
the character. She was like her.
And she even shouted out my two friends that you met, Juan and Mikey. I had her shout them out because they loved her at the time, and she did it no problem. And I thought that was cool because like I was trying to like feel out like who I can get to shout somebody out, and like right away I was like I think she'll do it. So I asked her, and she was like, yeah, no problem. So I think I mean out of all people, I think she deserves this like more than a lot. I mean,
I
she's
Yeah, and you made a
great.
really good point, and I'm so funny you said this. I literally was thinking this morning because I was watching and thinking about this and thinking about, when we've gone to WrestleMania or we went to Royal Rumble or whatever. The thing about it is, it's like, why would we, right? Why would anybody want to go sit in an audience when you can literally watch it on Peacock?
Mhm.
Because I've never had an experience in an audience like you do at a WWE
No,
thing.
it's so unique.
It's so unique. I mean, I literally sat with all these people and we all were bonding over who was coming in, what was going on. And it's such a, and also with the music and the
Yeah.
chanting, you're such a part of it, right?
Everyone always says they WWE figured it out. Like they figured out the perfect
Formula.
formula for live entertainment. They really did. Because like I'm sorry, like I've been to a lot of live events. I'm just one of those people because I have friends and family that are very not WWE like in general that rather watch on the TV like sporting events and whatever. I personally love being in every sport. I'd rather be there live. I don't care what it is.
Really.
I enjoy being there. I'd rather watch a football game in person. I'd rather watch a hockey game there. I'd rather watch a Yankee game 100%. I'd rather be at the
Oh
stadium every
yeah.
single day.
Oh, for sure.
So I that is was another thing. Like it was WWE is just I'm sorry, but it's not even comparable to being in person. It's so much better there. It is so much better live. You've never I when we were at Rumble, like I told Mikey, that was Mikey's first event ever. And I was like, no, we went to Raw. That was his first pay-per-view in general, and it was Royal Rumble. And I was like, you don't realize how weird it is, or like the feeling of sitting in a place where there's 80,000 people. Like, imagine you never think you're gonna sit somewhere where there's 80,000 people next to you, and then you look over and it's like that's what you get.
Well, the only thing I will say, I've always had this battle with myself too about it where, you can't hear the play-by-play when you're at a
Mhm.
live event. You can't. And like when I was at Royal Rumble, because I couldn't see very well, it was a bit
Yeah,
challenging.
yeah,
It's like I can't see this. but the people around me made it interesting,
Mhm.
actually.
My
Uh,
and yeah, that's the main thing.
so, all right. So then Judgment Day versus New Catch Republic, I didn't even really care. That was
I
my,
ended up, yeah, I
and I
ended up
passed
watching it.
out. I didn't see it. And I was like, they're not going to lose to these guys.
No, I mean I watched the whole match. I mean, I enjoyed the match. It was good. It was fast paced. It was okay. I mean, like I knew they were going to lose, so I didn't really care. The best part of that whole thing I think was Dom getting
Dominic,
booed.
but getting
He didn't
booed.
hear the microphone.
Now, do you believe that he's really getting that booed, or do you think they're also pushing in some
Well, I mean,
audience?
we've been there. I mean, when I tell you in Puerto Rico, the loudest one I heard because I've seen him like every pay per view I've been to. When I was in Backlash in Puerto Rico on the SmackDown on Friday, you literally could not hear him. Like you could not hear him. That's how loud the boos were. They're not piped in at all, and I think it's awesome. Like
It's
he's
great.
I'm sure he loves it because that's what he's trying to do. Like
Oh
I'm
my
sure
God.
I don't know if you've seen Logan Paul literally says he's like my goal in my life is to get booed as loud as he does.
Yeah.
He wants to be that big of a
Yeah.
heel.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's hilarious.
Um, so that was nothing, but that brings me back to our continuing story that we keep talking about is what is Damian Priest going to do with this briefcase? Is there any possibility now that we know the matches are set at WrestleMania? Where would he go? He would do the Seth
I think there's a good chance he cashes in at Mania on
and
Seth
they
because I
go,
think it's gotten to a point where we need to get it over with, and Seth and Drew can both lose if they lose to him if they end up winning. You know what I mean? Like I don't think anyone's gonna be mad if Seth retains against Drew and then loses to Damian for like a month and then wins it back, or Drew goes against Damian because the thing about Drew and Damian have had this little thing where he costs him his cash in. So I wouldn't mind a Seth win, beats Drew, and then Damian cashes in, wins, and then that's the feud is Damian and Drew.
so either they're holding this in their back pocket, which is why
Or
they're
they
not,
truthfully don't know what they're doing. Yeah.
or everything that has happened from all the injuries, all the rock, everything it literally got pushed so far to the wayside. Because months ago, I thought Judgment Day was going to split. I thought Balor and Priest were going to have it out.
I think they were though. I just think they were so over and so good at what they were doing. They just kind of I just think they missed their time. Like it was that 3 month spot during SummerSlam when Finn was going against Seth. It should have been that day, I think. I think Damian should have cashed in that day. Because at that point, Seth can still win it back in like a month if you really wanted him to hold it at Mania. You know what I mean? It's just to have Damian get his moment. And I just truthfully, as much as we talk about it, I really don't want Damian to lose the cash in. I think that's stupid.
I
I,
actually really like Damian Priest, and I thought things were going along great. And I don't know, like it just kind of
Yeah,
petered.
I think it's gone past its point, and I still think it's at a point where if he comes out at Mania and wins, I think it'll be a good crowd, whatever. But I don't really know how long he would hold it. I mean, they're not showcasing him as a top guy, so I mean, like he's a tag team champion, but like I
They're
don't know.
not. They're not.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with him.
All right. Well, let's talk about Elimination Chamber, the men's match. We had Logan Paul, Randy
Yes,
Orton, Bobby Lashley, Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre, and LA Knight. And LA Knight and Drew McIntyre start the match. And um, this match had tons of ridiculous interference in it. And the reason it had this interference in it so that nobody had a clean pin. Like LA Knight did not get a clean pin, you
no.
know. So when you saw everybody in there, who impressed you the most of the group? And was Randy Orton's back really hurt?
He's definitely selling it, but I just think it's awesome. He's very good at it. I truthfully thought he was hurt for a couple minutes. I was like, all right, now it's a little too much. But I mean, I this first of all another one. I mean, this match was stacked with talent. I mean, they never really do that, which is weird. There's always a couple guys that don't deserve to be there, and they were like, no, we're doing. I had to do a stadium show and all that stuff. I think, and
I think so
the
too.
fact that there was a lot of injuries and all that. Um, I don't know if you saw CM Punk's post on Instagram,
Which
but
is there one after this? I did.
no, the CM Punk posted on the morning, like the morning before Chamber,
What do you say?
and was like, my heart. I just want to let you guys know I've had a really rough day. My heart's really heavy. Like today was supposed to be my day because he was supposed to win. He was gonna win the Chamber and then fight Seth at WrestleMania. So
Right.
he was reflecting. He's like, I'm reflecting on all this, and he's like, the fact that I'm injured again, whatever. He's like, I will be back, all that stuff. It really does suck because like this was the day he was gonna come back and finally get his WrestleMania main event, and I think the night of the event he just got very emotional, I guess, and was like, I
And
can't
I
do
had
it.
seen him he had come out in Anaheim. They had shown Cody and him in
Yeah.
an appearance a week before was it SmackDown or Raw?
Oh yeah.
Raw. And they came out and addressed the crowd. And, he was like, because they didn't have a match.
Yeah.
And so basically what we're saying here is it was clear that Cody was going to win the Rumble, Punk was going to win Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. Easily.
That's how it was all going to play out.
Yeah.
And it all got effed up.
Yeah. But I definitely, I mean, I think Logan's great. We always talk about it.
I think Logan is so
Hilarious.
great. I
Did you see the
cannot.
video he posted of him writing on the thing?
Writing on Kevin Owens and the thing was
Yeah, it
so
was
brilliant.
awesome. It was
I
great.
just think
He knows he knows what he's doing. He's so good at it. He's so good.
how he's so perfect at it and the best rest. I mean,
If
who
you can think, if you think about it, like not even best celebrity, he's already the best celebrity. That's not even a question. But like, this could be one of their best hires ever. Like just hires in general. Like he's literally like a full-time talent now. That's awesome.
I thought he was fantastic.
And I know I really did like the fact that he's the U.S. champion. Yeah, he wins with like brass knuckles and stuff, but like they still want him to be portrayed as like a guy that can win matches. Like he's still
The brass knuckles thing is getting stupid, but I get
yeah.
it. Like they have to have the heel.
So what do you think they're doing with? I was shocked that he cost Randy the match. I didn't think that's what they were gonna do.
I know, yeah. I was shocked. I think they're going to set up Randy and Logan at WrestleMania.
You think no way Randy loses to him? So you think he's gonna hold
But
the
it's
U.S.
going to be
championship?
Randy versus Logan, and also I want to say that I thought LA Knight was great in this match.
What I'll say about that.
Yeah, and AJ Styles turning complete heel. I think it's going to be AJ, and the purpose of this, these are two other matches at WrestleMania, whether it's night one or night two.
But you don't think there's a way? Because like at the end of the day, when I saw someone put a whole thing like KO still has a lot of unfinished business with Logan. Like that's still a thing. And what you know what I mean? So KO has Logan. Logan cost Randy the match. So now Randy's gonna be beefing with Logan.
Yeah,
And then you have LA Knight who still was going after Logan Paul, but now got cost by Styles. I think they should just do a ladder match at Mania and have all of them together for the US Championship. There's so
that's
much like
interesting.
parallels with each other that
I didn't think
I
of
don't think
that.
it's directly setting up like one-on-one matches. I think they're gonna set up all of them beefing with each other.
I didn't even think of that. So then it would be Logan, Randy,
LA Knight,
LA Knight, and Kevin.
Styles, and Kevin.
Five.
Five. And you had one more. Make it six like they usually do.
Lashley.
The only thing with Lashley is like he was just kind of thrown into that match. But everyone else was like legit has feuds with each other. Also, I can't even believe that like what was it? 5 out of the 6 were from SmackDown. Like SmackDown is like people talk about Raw being stacked, but SmackDown has all those guys. Like
And I was going to
yeah.
say one thing. So I was hoping the result of this was going to be Orton for the win.
I really wanted Orton to
I
win.
really was shocked. I hope
Yeah.
I'm not a doofus, but
Oh no, I mean
I didn't think they were going to do Drew because I thought he's got to keep being pissed off. I didn't think
I
they were going to
knew
pay it off.
Drew was more for me. Drew was more like obvious to win than Becky was.
Right, and that's why I didn't want it. I was
Yeah,
like,
just because he was the
also
only
I've seen Seth and Drew millions of
three
times.
times. That's the only thing I don't not too excited about is that
I'm not.
that's beat him clean 3 times. Clean. No interferences, nothing.
I have a big problem with this. I
I would
really thought
really I would really, I'm sure we're
Randy,
gonna talk about it. Yeah. I I don't know.
but don't you think something's going to come up? Either Logan, Randy have a feud. It's what you say, or is something going to happen where it turns into a triple threat and Orton gets put into that
I
match?
don't think it's gonna be Orton. I think Sammy's gonna get put into that match because Sammy's having this whole Daniel Bryan type, like I don't have a match at Mania type thing. I
They've
can't find my
ruined him
way.
too.
Huh?
They've ruined Sammy.
Yeah, I agree. He's not
He
as
was
over as
like
he
the
was.
biggest a year ago. We were all about him.
That's why what we're talking about with the whole Drew set thing. I think this is the time to just do the Damian cash in. You just have to. You have to do it.
Have him win.
Or hey, even though it's stupid, like in the theory of the Money in the Bank, just have him freaking say what Cena did and say I want to be in the match and I'm using my money in the bank and make it a triple threat.
Will you explain for people that will be watching this when you say, I know what it is, but can you explain the Sami Zayn, Daniel Bryan connections? You
Yeah,
just
so Sami Zayn, they're doing this whole storyline where he has no match at Mania and he has a losing streak. He can't win. He's trying to figure it out. He's gonna fight. He keeps losing to everybody. So and the fans are trying to get behind him, and he's gonna. It's what people think he's gonna find his way into the triple threat match by like saying like because they Drew is like a very cocky heel. So they were saying people on Twitter were like, oh, maybe Sami would be like, if Drew would be like, yeah, I mean, I beat you twice. If you beat me, yeah, you can get put into the match, and then Sami will beat him or something, or Seth will cost him or whatever, and then Sami gets put in. I mean, I definitely think they should do something like that because I don't want to watch Seth and Drew again by
I
themselves.
don't either. But please bring us back around to Daniel Bryan because it happened to him, right?
Yeah, Daniel Bryan, he had to get he had no Mania match. He ended up getting very behind. The fans were very behind him. He was not in the cards at all. It was going to be Batista and Randy Orton at Mania. No one wanted to watch that match because Batista was very slow and old and was not that good in his
That's
return.
right.
Which he talked about how he was very embarrassed about it and he was very out of shape. And they ended up doing a triple threat at Mania with Daniel Bryan getting into the match by beating Triple H the same night. Um, I could definitely see them doing that. I definitely think they need to add something to that match, and I true that would be cool. I mean, it's better than Seth and Drew again.
No,
I
that's what
don't.
I'm saying. That's what's throwing me. I don't want to see that.
The,
And
the only reason I was so like, all right, he's gonna win is because he was the only Raw competitor in that match, only one.
well, and they've been building up his story
Yeah,
over,
yeah, it made sense. I get it.
but but so it would be Logan and Orton. My thought is Logan and Orton for the US title and maybe Randy wins it.
I would like to see that.
Does Logan really need the title?
Probably not, and I think Logan and Randy would put on a pretty good match. I guess I
And
could see
I
Logan.
think Logan could go for now. I would elevate Logan
I
and
could see
have
Logan with the Money in the Bank. He's
right,
perfect for that.
and he could carry on that
Yeah,
thing. Yeah, that he could carry that story.
perfect for like because he also like a guy that out of all people like a guy that wants to win by doing the least amount of time like work. Logan fits that. You know what I mean? Like by cashing in and being a heel.
But what did you think when they had AJ Styles come in and plummet? I mean, I'm like, how is this legal? And then the announcer's like, it's legal. There's no rules. So
Yeah,
literally, we could walk in and smash anyone we wanted.
yeah. I had a feeling that was gonna happen just because they've been teasing like LA Knight cost him and
Is that why
whatever.
AJ Styles has gone heel?
He's just going. I just think he's just going crazy. He's just like pissed at everybody.
Because he has no story. So they had to
Yeah.
give him
But
like
I'll be interested in LA Knight Styles match at Mania. It's definitely a good it's definitely a good singles match to add to the card.
that's what
So
I think.
it would be good.
That's what I think.
It's just the
So
only reason I said that thing about the Money in the Bank is because I just don't see a way that like a guy like Kevin Owens will have a match at Mania without it being involved. So like I think they're gonna do I could see them doing a whole multi-man match like they did and do like how we were like, oh, there's no way they're gonna leave LA Knight, Styles, and Randy off the card at Royal Rumble, so they did a fatal four-way with Reigns. I can see them doing that like with everybody together and then adding one more just surprise entrant or whatever, or maybe Rey Mysterio because Rey Mysterio got hurt
oh
after
yeah.
after
I was thinking of that too when I was
Hogan
like,
beat him and he's cleared now supposedly. So I mean, I could see that too.
I never saw. Oh, I know why. So the Kabuki Warrior match was in the pre-show.
Yeah, I didn't watch that.
I didn't watch it. So the Grayson Waller effect, which I saw the last part of, I did see the part. I did see the part where I saw this when Austin Theory was doing the Rock impersonation, and then Cody decides,
Yeah,
I want to face the Rock anytime, anywhere, right? Isn't it anytime before Mania he wants to wrestle the Rock?
but there's no pay-per-views, so I guess they're gonna do it on SmackDown.
I'm like, are they going to really do that? So he was
Or is
saying
that
that.
yeah? I'll be honest. I thought I when I watched it back, I watched it fully. Um, I I thought that that whole segment was like not needed. It could have been a like a press release. Like you know what I mean? It was
I can't
stupid.
believe they would fly them down there to like I don't know, but
On
we're
them. Like, do you really want to fly to Australia just to do that?
no. And also I wanted to say I'm really worried or not liking Seth telling him, I have your back. If you go against The Rock, I have your
Just
back.
seems so
Fake.
like a little brother thing. It's like Cody's doing his promo and then Seth just creeps up behind and he's like, I will be there. Like it's so weird. It's so weird to me that dynamic of making Seth look like he's
Didn't
like
he call,
begging for he's
but
like
didn't
begging for Cody's attention.
and didn't he call him his little bit? What did The Rock call his little girlfriend? Rock made a
Something like
video
that. Yeah.
or something
Yeah.
like calling him either a little bitch or the girlfriend. I don't get it. The only thing that makes sense is Seth is gonna turn on him.
Think so. I was gonna ask you, everyone thinks that's gonna happen because at the
I
end
because I
everyone
can't.
always said you can't trust Seth.
I don't think so. I think he's gonna
But
turn
I
on him.
did see a great theory, which I thought was awesome, a double turn at Mania. Seth turns on Cody and The Rock turns on Roman.
I've been saying I think The Rock could turn on Roman at WrestleMania to allow Cody to win.
Hmm.
Seth would then have to do something to Cody, right?
Well, what makes sense. I think the best way to do it is Seth does it first.
To
Hits
Cody.
does his finisher on Cody. Somewhat ref gets bumped. Does his finisher on Cody. Walks out. Roman's about to pin him, and then The Rock comes in and does something to The Rock, and then Cody ends up beating him. And then it sets it up perfectly because then you can do
Cody, Seth,
Cody
Rock,
Seth again.
and Rock
You can
Roman.
do Rock Roman again. You can do Roman Seth again. I mean, Rock and
Cody and Rock. Oh, you can
Cody.
do Cody and Rock then. They're
Yeah,
together.
but if anything, they do it beforehand. I don't know. I don't buy the whole Rock thing. I don't buy it. I think it's gonna be so quick to turn.
I the only way I saw this with the heel turn was that he turns on Roman at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
But now,
the more you
I read,
watch,
sorry, I question for you. I saw reports that Rock wanted this. Now they're saying he wanted to be heel, and this is the plan all along. And he's going to be on a like you had mentioned, he's not on short term right now. It seems like he's
no,
going to be on,
he's gonna be there next week.
but even past WrestleMania,
Yeah, they said they want him for like the next 3 pay-per-views
right?
minimum, and then next year's Mania.
So
I mean,
he's going to.
don't get me wrong. Like at the end of the day, we're should be honored that we're getting Rock on an almost full-time basis for at least one more final run. But I just think personally, I don't want it to happen. I would rather him just keep being a heel. I think it's funny. Like I'd rather him. I don't have like this whole fascination with like the whole because at the end of the day, it's true. I mean, he does really come out The Rock and just do the same catchphrases every single week and then leaves. Like you know what I mean? I like heel. It gives us more to work with.
Wait, so do you consider yourself a Cody Rhodes fan?
Yeah,
Okay, so you
definitely.
are down for Cody to win this.
I want him to win. I would be
Right,
very upset if he loses.
so you're with the world because you've been down in Perth.
I tweeted we want Cody when it was all
I
going
mean,
on.
it's amazing, right? Like
All the Cody Crybaby. I want to get a shirt that says Cody Crybaby on
I'm
it.
a Cody crybaby. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted to say to you that I've been alive longer than you, and I do not remember seeing this kind of
Hmm.
baby. I mean, there's been baby faces.
Yeah.
I don't remember this universal love for this guy. I haven't seen it. I don't know.
That's gotta feel
Can
great.
you imagine LJ if he never left AEW?
I, Imagine think about that. Think about if he never left WWE in the first place. He would just be sitting there as a mid-carder this whole time. It really is crazy, like when you think about it, like out of all people, he really he like in all sports, like guys leave teams to try to bet on themselves and get more money from somewhere else. Like he truthfully bet on himself because he didn't have to leave. He could have just kept the paycheck, like he said in his documentary, and was making very good money and just sat there in WWE for 10 more years, 20 more years. And he left, made probably not that much money on the indies, started a company, and then was like, maybe I can go back and be a top guy. And then look at him now. I genuinely do wonder if he ever thought he like when he left AEW to go back to WWE, even though if he thought he would be this big. Or if he really is like that, if he really does like to bet on himself and he's like, no, I knew I would be this popular.
I don't know. Somehow it all got
Yeah, it
worked.
just worked out and the
How
crowd
it
loves
all
him.
worked
The little
out. And
brother loves him and
yeah, I mean the kids love him.
yeah,
If they f this up,
he has to win. My dad's been watching because my dad
what
said it like
what does your dad think? We trust your dad.
so it's funny because my dad literally like he's like this is exactly what they wanted. My dad doesn't watch wrestling. Like he's very like occasional watch. He'll watch the PLEs when I have him on or whatever. But he knows who the guys are and stuff. And he's watched every single show since The Rock came back. And like that's exactly what they wanted with bringing The Rock back. He has not missed a show since he came back. So all these casual viewers are watching.
Lapsed viewers come
Yeah,
back, right? It's like
he's
you win,
watching.
they come back.
And he's watching, and he's like, he's just so keen on. He's like they're gonna have Cody lose. He thinks they're gonna have him lose again. He thinks that's his judgment. I just really hope
I
they
mean,
don't.
I kind of that I had a bad like I've been thinking about this.
He can't.
But what if he does? And he just keep
He
it going.
can't. There's no way Cody is okay with that. Going 2 years in a row, then it's over.
So what are we doing with Roman after this?
That's the only reason. I told you that's the only thing that's keeping me from being so certain because I truthfully do think that Roman winning would have better storylines after this than if Cody wins. Because I feel like if Cody wins, he's just gonna be the babyface that holds it for a while. Like I'm not. I don't think I'm done with the whole bloodline story yet.
Yeah, I don't think the Cody story after he wins, you've got
Mhm.
the payoff at WrestleMania. Everybody goes crazy. It's a big social
Well,
moment. And then what?
you can compare it to like Kofi. When Kofi won, everybody wanted him to win, and then it was kind of boring after. Like it was like, all right, he won, but now what? He has to feud. Kofi Kingston has to have feuds with top guys. You know what I mean? So it was same thing as I mean, nobody really wants to admit it. Daniel Bryan's run after he won the championship was not that great
It's
after Mania.
terrible.
It really wasn't great. It was
No,
boring.
it's terrible.
So like that's kind of what I feel like might happen with Cody.
So
It might get a bit stale.
I think Seth is definitely going to turn on Cody for
Yeah.
sure. Because how would he allow himself to be this way?
But I think that's why I agree with you. Like it's so like
I don't believe Seth
it's so
Rollins.
extra that but I feel like for both of them, it's so over the top for The Rock too that I think it's such a joke that he's like, how does no one realize that I'm joking around like I'm fooling Roman right now? But I'm
You
excited. I
think
think
they're
it's
gonna
gonna
do
be
you do not think they're gonna do Cody the Rock on one night and
really
then
hope not.
I hope not either.
I also don't want the tag match, which is very heavily rumored.
So if it's February 25th now, we have 5 weeks to WrestleMania.
Around there, yeah. We have the month of March and the first week of April.
But I'm saying in terms of TV,
Yeah.
they've got five or
They have
six
like
story to
six Raws and SmackDowns
yeah,
left.
so how are they going to keep this interesting for six? They've got to do something.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited though. And the Raw before Mania is in Brooklyn, so I'll definitely be there.
How does it always work out for you that they're like right where you are?
Yeah, so it's definitely cool.
Um, I do want to, before we go, talk about a few things in AEW. Number one, Mercedes Monet is coming to the
Very
thing.
soon.
And
Yeah,
then Jennifer Pepperman, who I know from working on One Life to Live with, is now
I
left
saw.
the WWE and she became, which was very surprising.
Yeah, she's been there for a while.
I had not known, I had not known that she was leaving.
Mm.
And she'd been there for 7 years and she was a senior writer producer for them. And she left and I I was like, oh my God, did she get fired? Like, what happened?
I think
But
it
she
was like
left on
both.
her own
Yeah.
terms. She left on her own terms.
Tony
And
Khan coughed it up.
obviously, Mercedes Monet, who she wrote for Sasha Banks,
Yeah.
it had to, the timing is
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I get it. It's the same thing as like The Rock and then that guy coming back
Brian
too.
and
Yeah,
Brian.
so they do that, which makes sense.
Do you think she could improve the situation there?
Maybe I do think so. I mean, she's done well in WWE, so I mean, I definitely think it's definitely a smart hire. I mean, WWE's kind of I'm surprised they let her leave, but
And then I think they've got some things happening. Mercedes Monet coming. If they don't,
Okada, I guess.
Okada, Osprey,
Osprey, yeah. Who I love.
MJF
We
is
love
we love Will
Osprey.
Osprey. And the other thing is the Sting thing is I wish I could. I think it's in a week next week,
March
March 4th.
4th? Yeah.
So I'm now reading that what we originally said is there will be a turn. Ric Flair will turn on Sting at the thing.
They're
And
already
then
teasing. He always turns. This guy always
what about the Young Bucks' new personalities? Have you seen
I,
that?
I just think the Young Bucks are corny, so I don't really care. I think they're so corny.
Do you hope Sting has a good match? You think it'll be
I
really
hope they
awesome?
win.
Sting and Darby.
Yeah. I hope he goes through a few tables.
Sting.
Yeah. I hope Sting jumps off a few ladders.
I do too. One ladder to go.
Yeah.
All right. So Elimination Chamber, you give it a what?
I feel like it's 8 out of 10. I think it was solid. The two chamber matches were good. I
I'm
think that
giving it a B. I'm giving it a B
yeah,
because the
B.
two chamber matches were great.
Definitely could have been better. I definitely wish the stadium show had a little bit more matches, but I know the injuries definitely don't help. Seth, Punk, those guys were gonna fight, so it sucked. But they figured it out. I think they
Right.
did a
And
good job.
just to clarify, this is our 25th show this time.
Now it is
I
25th.
had, so when I said it last
Quarter.
time, I clearly can't count in my old age. All right, get some rest.
I will. I'm gonna take a nap.
Go take a nap. We'll talk soon. Bye,
All right.
everybody.